Today I'm going to be discussing ass to grass squats. What's going on, everybody? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and today I'm going to be discussing whether or not ass to grass squats are safe. Okay, when I say ass to grass, I mean full range of motion squats or full depth squats, whatever you want to call it. So there is a lot of debate out there as to whether or not these are necessary and whether or not they're safe, and today I'm going to break that down. To begin, ass to grass squats or full range of motion squats, where you're going down all the way with your butt just coming a couple inches from the floor, are beneficial, okay? And you can say that they're more beneficial than squats in which you would force yourself to stop when you achieve parallel with your femurs, your leg bones, in that you get more muscle contraction when you go down utilizing the full depth of your squat. Just because you're traveling more distance, basically. You'll get more contraction in your legs on the concentric part of the squat when you're coming back up from the hole, and that will eventually lead to greater gains in strength and muscle mass. With that being said, it's certainly not safe for everybody to do these types of squats, okay? Some people will be fine doing these, other people will not be. What I'm going to talk about now are 3 different types of people that should avoid doing these ass to grass squats. Number 1, if you're somebody with a posterior pelvic tilt at the bottom of the squat, also known as butt wink, you do not want to do ass to grass squats. You want to actually limit how deep you're going, okay? And what I mean by that is, you'll see this a lot of times when people go down all the way in a squat. They'll squat down, sorry you guys can't see this, but at the very bottom of the squat, right before their butt touches the ground, their pelvis will tuck underneath them like that, like this, okay? And their lower back will round. Now, lots of times this is caused by muscle imbalances, which is outside of the scope of this video. That can be addressed, but sometimes it's also just caused by the structure of your body. Some people are just simply not designed to be able to go down that deep without the butt winking occurring. And this is a bad thing to do, especially if you load your body up with weight. Okay, so if you're doing heavy weighted squats, you have a lot of compressional forces acting on the spine, and if you're rounding from the lumbar spine, you're predisposing yourself to all sorts of different injuries in the lumbar area. So if you're in that group of people and you can't not butt wink going down, to the maximal depth that you have, then avoid going down that deep. 2, if you're somebody that has a lot of mobility issues in your ankles, hips, thoracic spine, so much so that when you go down all the way full depth, you're rounding up like a little roly-poly, your whole spine is flexing and rounding forward. Again, in that category, you do not want to do ass to grass squats. At least until you've worked on your mobility, and that's no longer an issue, maintaining spinal neutrality when you're squatting that deep. 3, and this one might seem obvious to some of you, but I guarantee you there are people out there still doing squats in this condition. But if going down that deep causes you pain, all right, then stop going down that deep, okay? Try experimenting with limiting your range of motion on your descent of the squat and see how that goes. I hope this kind of sheds some light on whether or not ass to grass squats are good. You really have to weigh the cost to benefit ratio when you're deciding to do these for yourself, okay? It will get more muscle contraction, which will lead to greater strength gains, but at what cost? Are you able to do it while keeping that neutral spine? Are you able to do it without that butt winking at the bottom? You really have to assess these things in yourself. And if you can do ass to grass squats, it doesn't cause you pain, you don't have that butt wink, then yeah, you can go ahead and do these. But if you have any of those other things going on, then you need to stop doing ass to grass squats until you get to the bottom of that, until you can squat without being in pain, without rounding up like a roly-poly, and without butt winking. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, then go ahead and do that right over here. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, have me assess your posture and give you a corrective exercise protocol specific for you, go ahead and go down below into the description and hit coaching. Also, make sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. I'll include links to both of those things in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you next time.